Okay, I think we are ready to get started. Good morning, everyone. My name is Gary Finneth. I'm the marketing director here at Taylor Properties. Thank you for joining us today. We have a great presentation on Google My Business, specifically for real estate agents. It's going to be hosted by myself and Kyle Stolte from Heritage Financial. Kyle is a very knowledgeable loan officer with us, and he's been working a lot with Taylor Properties agents as of late. They're really happy with what he has to offer in terms of rates and service to their clients. But on top of that, he's extremely knowledgeable in the real estate world in general. And today, marketing focused. I think this will help a lot of you agents that don't really have a great SEO presence or just don't know what Google My Business is in general. This will be perfect for you guys to increase your web presence. So with that being said, let's hand it over to Kyle and we can get started.
Cool. Hey, everybody. It's good to see you all here. And can you all see my screen okay? I'm going to Google My Business for real estate. Everyone see that?
Yep.
All right, cool. So this is really just a high-level overview, but it's going to give you some good insights as to how to do this and how to do it effectively and how to increase, the amount of leads that you get just from this. It legitimizes you. So we'll go into it and we'll show you how to set it up very briefly, but mostly just go over the important things that you want to have in there. We're also going to provide you with a copy of the slides afterwards and another booklet to kind of go over a little bit more and a little bit more in depth. So if you have any questions throughout all this is interactive. So feel free to use the chat and we'll answer any questions you have. Even if it's on something 3 slides ago, I'm sure other people have the same questions as you do. So don't be afraid to ask. We'll stop as many times as we need to answer any questions. I'm your in-house loan officer here at Taylor Properties. So Heritage Financial has been my home for about 1.5 years now. And it's been successful, very successful so far. I think we finished off with close to 20 units in the last 2 months of the year. Last year, just myself. So there's a lot of Taylor Properties agents that are using Heritage services. And if that's something that you haven't done yet, check us out. There's no frills with us. What you get is what you see. So we're here to help. And even if there's a question you have on a transaction that's not with us, we're your coworkers. Just hit us up. We'll answer any questions you have. And that's any of the loan officers that are here. So with that being said, enough about me. Let's talk about you. So Google My Business for real estate. The agenda today. So we're going to do the what and the why of Google My Business. Why do we need it? And how we're going to set up and optimize the accounts. Getting client reviews is the biggest part here. And that's what most agents and any business really struggles with. Anytime you buy something on Amazon, you get something in the mail like a month later saying, hey, if you review this, we'll send you a free product. And it's a bribe, but they want the reviews because everyone looks at reviews. Every single person, especially on Google. If you're ever looking for a handyman or something, personally, the first place that I go is Google. I look at the people on the side. There's like a list of businesses. We'll talk a little bit more about how to get and show up there, but getting client reviews is very important for what we're trying to do here. And getting found on a Google search comes from those client reviews. And Google Insights is basically your data center. It's going to show you how people find you. And again, we'll go over all that. But for now, Google My Business, it's a free business listing platform, and it allows you to display your business information on a Google search or also on Google Maps. So the business listing includes a description of the business, your contact information, client reviews, as we mentioned, photos, listings, questions that you get frequently that you can have like a frequently asked questions section. You should set up the Google My Business listing just because you show up when consumers Google it. If you've ever had a scenario where you need to find something near you, you type in, snow removal near me. That I think we've all done that at some point. And if you haven't, most people are doing that now. So we want you to show up on a review. If your neighbor searches for a real estate agent near me, it should be you that shows up, right? You don't want another agent showing up. So we'll explain how to do that. So the Google My Business page is all about reaching people in your local area. So when you search for a business on Google, the page will show up if that's in that area. So it's all about being local. So the mobile version is on the left. So right here, you're going to see this is the mobile version of what it looks like. And then the computer version is on the right. So Google My Business profile displays name, address, phone number, like we all mentioned, the hours of operation. So if you're a part-time agent, that may be important for you. If you're a full-time agent, you want to let people know that you're available. Your business might already have a listing. Google's always finding and adding businesses to its directory. So you can find your business just by Googling your business name. So if you're a Homes for Heroes, realtor, and you search your name, Homes for Heroes, and your business comes up on Google, you'll see it looking like this if you're looking at the computer, or like this if you're looking at your mobile. If it comes up, then you're already there. You just need to verify and claim it. Chances are you're not there because we're all self-employed individual realtors, right? So Taylor Properties would be there if they didn't have their own page set up, but not necessarily you. So there's a good chance that you're not on there yet, but you want to add it. So let's talk about the benefits of having this. So it's very easy to make, and it's just about people being able to find you. It's all about connecting with local home buyers. That's all Google search is. They want to connect you efficiently and effectively to local businesses. So consumers are searching online. So having this profile helps bridge the initial connection, because if they're searching for a local real estate agent and they say real estate agent near me, and then they see you, 5-star reviews, 100 of them, and you're at the top of the list, who else are they going to go to next? They're not going to go to somebody with 30 reviews or 5 reviews. The more, the merrier. So we'll talk about how to get those a little bit more. There's different ways you can entice your clients to get those reviews, and some effective ones that we'll share. The first benefit, though, of having it is just increasing your visibility. So people typing in Elizabeth Yee with Realty One will see her show up at the top of the search in her local business information. So it adds credibility to your brand already being up there at the top. Does that make sense? So all of these different Google businesses that you see here, they all set up their profile. But as you see, you'll notice that the one at the top has the most reviews. And as you start to go down the list, there's 9 and there's none, right? You see that where it says the 5 stars right here at 11 reviews. There's a reason for that. Google wants to promote good businesses, right? They don't want to be liable, not that they would be, but they want their algorithm to promote the most successful and most well-reviewed businesses in the area. So the second major advantage is that you would appear in Google Maps when people in your area search keywords like real estate agents. So that's important because you get this mobile click to call. So consumers are increasingly using Google Maps to find local professionals by searching directly in the Maps app. And I do it myself, which is why I love this presentation, because I am a fan of Google. I Google everything. Google Maps is, I travel to work every day. I have Google Maps on my navigation. I know how to get to work, but you want to have the updated traffic, right? So Google Maps is my go-to. So this is a lot of my generation, but older generation as well. I know my father uses it. So when you have that platform right there, you want to be able to show up. And the click to call is so important, because if you find people who search things online and put a lead into a website, they're ready to go at that second. And if you wait an hour after you get a lead to call them, they're already on to the next thing, or they may have already put in their information to somebody else. It's the same idea here. It's just about being able to access you right when they're ready to access you. And that's what you want. So you want to be able to input that information, and you can get directions to your office, which we'll talk about how to set that up. So how to set up the account. To qualify for a Google My Business account, you must have a physical location or travel to visit customers in the location that you're claiming. So for me, my physical location is our home office in Annapolis, right off Admiral Road. So you can use your home address as your physical location if you choose. For Google My Business accounts, they basically want to keep the search results limited to local brands. So you need to have a place where they can physically visit. You can't not have an address in there. So a lot of us, again, self-employed, working from home, maybe the Columbia office is the office that you are out of. Maybe you should use that as your primary address. But this is a requirement. You need to have an address in there. You can't not have like an area that you serve, and you're not technically someone where you're traveling to visit. That would be more like a pest control service or an electrician where you're traveling and people don't actually go to the electrician's home to talk about the services. So you may be able to get away with that, but I would prefer, and I'm sure Taylor would prefer, if you have a unified address. So one of the locations that we have, mainly the home office in Annapolis.
Now, for a second real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in regards to your address for your Google My Business page, when you create your account, Google's going to ask you for that address, right? What's going to happen after that is Google's going to send you a postcard in the mail to that address to verify your business. Now, the problem is if you put, let's say, the Taylor Properties address or office as your business location, Google's going to already see that the business location was already taken by Taylor Properties. So then they'll say, okay, this location has already been claimed. Is your address correct or not? So that's going to be a problem trying to verify your business in order to be seen online. So what I would recommend is actually use your home address initially just to set up and verify your account with that code that they mail you. And then once you get your account activated, you can change your address and service areas to whatever you'd like. So yeah, I've had issues with agents trying to set up their account and use the office address initially, and they never got the postcard, and their account pretty much isn't visible because their account wasn't verified yet, because the postcard came to the office instead of their home address, and they just didn't know about it. So when you're first setting up your account, highly recommend setting your home address as your address and then changing it after it gets verified by Google.
And there's a part of this slideshow that we're going to go over the postcard because it's very important. I think Google's the only people still doing direct mail. I don't know why they send a postcard, but to piggyback off of what Gary said, when I went and set up my account about 1.5 years ago, it recognized that Heritage Financial also shared the same address. And it asked me basically if I was a part of the address, and I had to jump through a couple extra hoops. I can't remember exactly what I did though. So I'll have to go back. Anybody running into that issue, let us know. I'll go back and troubleshoot and see what I did to get past that. But I put the office, the Heritage office address, but obviously there's not as many people working at Heritage Financial as there is at Taylor Property. So try your home address first, like Gary said, and then if you have any issues, let us know. But the first thing you need is a Gmail address. So if you already have a Gmail address, you already have a Google account. If you don't, you just go in and create another email address, make it your junk folder, whatever you want. But if you want to really use it, this business account, I would recommend it because you are going to start getting notifications via that Gmail that shows you kind of some insights into your profile, which we'll talk about a little bit more, as I mentioned. So then once you get in here, you're going to add your business to Google. So you can either find your business or add it. So again, if it's already existed because Google recognizes you as a company, find it. If you don't see it there, add your business on there. You shouldn't have any issues with it being on there. And then for adding a location, this is important. You want to add a location because you want to show up in Google Maps. That's the most important thing. So make sure, and we can change it later on. All right. And also the service area. We can also change the service area later on, but you want to make sure that you're not, you don't want to cast a wide net. This is really for the local searches. So you want to get and attract people in your local area. You don't want to say that you service Easton if you're a Columbia realtor. That's you're trying to get those fish too, but really just focus on the local area to get the best search results when it comes to people searching for you. So you're going to follow the prompts, enter in your contact information, your service locations, which the service locations, that's when you want to say, if you're in the Columbia area, you want to say Columbia, Ellicott City, Laurel, add all the different areas that you service. But for the actual physical location, don't put too many of those different ones that are too far out. You want to service the local area. So the only category that you get to select is real estate consultant. That's the only one there is for you guys. There are there's 3,000 different My Business categories. So there are a couple different ones that could apply, but you want to put real estate consultant. That's what's going to get you to show up when people search for real estate agents near me. So contact information. This is something, I've had agents put on their home phone or a business phone. You want this to be the phone that's on you all day. Somebody calls you or contacts you and you're available from the Google website, you want to pick up. Obviously it's not going to say it's Google calling, but it's going to say their phone number. But in order to get that client who's calling right then and there, and they want to talk to somebody, right? That's why they click to call. So enter your contact information and you get that blue click to call thing right there, right? That blue click to call, that's what you want. So when they search real estate agent near me, they get that blue click to call and you want that there. So make sure the contact information is accurate. Enter your website URL. So you want people to have access to your website when viewing your business on Google Maps, because it's not going to tell them everything, right? It's only going to be a brief kind of little postcard to show you. Speaking of postcard, this is just like what Gary was talking about. So they send this to the address that you put in there. And once you get it, it's going to be a code. You're going to enter that code back in the website. For me, it took like 2 weeks to get mine, maybe even longer, if I remember correctly, but it was a while. And when I finally got it, it was exciting because you get to finally set up your account. You do all the initial setup and then it's not really active until then. So make sure you do this today. Go set up the account. It's not going to be live. Get that postcard by mail and then finish setting it up once you get that. So once you've completed everything, again, it's going to say the postcard's coming. Well, I guess now it says about 5 days, but mine is a little bit longer. And then once you enter in the code, everything's set up. And now is the time to figure out, how do we make this a well-oiled machine? So there's a lot of people who have tried and failed and tried and failed and then tried and succeed. And these are the results that they've found so that you don't have to make the same errors, right? So let's get found in Google search. You want to think of it like a social media account. So you want to add personalization to this. And it's important to have a personalized kind of business profile. So you can add your profile photo, a cover image, a Google My Business listing also has 30-second videos that you can put up there. This could be your agent profile, a tour of your office. It could be a tour of a listing. You want to show people what to expect when they arrive. So if you have a home office where people come, take a picture of the outside, show them, an exterior photo showing them, when they're driving down the street, what they're looking for. You also want to show the inside. But if you don't have a physical address or anything like that, put up other pictures like your listings, maybe one of your best listings, maybe a recent listing, testimonial or settlement photos from closings that you have, anything like that that you can get, put them up there. And also this is your product. So just continue to update it. You want to add, like I said, the exterior picture. If you have a building that they actually go to. But if you decorate for the holidays, for the holidays, if you want to post something, if you're going to do a toy drive or something like that, it's the same thing as Facebook. Post the things that you're doing daily, not on Google, but those posts that you're doing daily. Add a couple of those pictures to Google every other week or something like that, just to keep it updated and fresh. Any of that content, really, you want to make sure anything you're doing on Facebook, just think about this on the side as additional content. The more photos you have, the better people can look through, because I know that I click through those. If it's a restaurant, you click through all the restaurant photos, right? You want to see what's good there. It's the same thing here. People want to see who their realtor is. The next, so the description. This is important. So this is 750 characters, and you want to put in there something that sets you apart from the competition, right? What makes you unique? And what do you offer your clients that your competitors don't? Do not have website URLs or links. There's another section for this that you add that in, but you don't want to put that in there. But the most important part of this section is the first 250 characters are the only characters to display in the search results. So make that fire. It's got to be good. It's got to be good. Write it a couple times. Have your family read over it. Someone, a professional, a coworker, whatever it is, make it good, and then read other people's. The best thing you can do in this industry is look at the people in your area that are doing it right and take from them what they're doing and make it your own. It's done all the time. It's not plagiarizing. It's just using it and making it unique. And if it's working, it's working. So read other people's, get ideas, but you don't have to be creative and, a wordsmith in order to get clients. You can use other people's good ideas and make them your own. So don't be intimidated about writing something like that. This is the most important part. So after every transaction, if you don't do this already, make it a part of your daily routine. But your routine after every transaction. Send your customers an email, thank them for their business, and ask for help, saying a quick review could help them, serve other clients. If you really enjoyed my services, please. These other clients don't know me when they come to see me, or they haven't met me before. They were referred to me just like you were. Remember how you were a little nervous to meet me, didn't know what to expect, and then everything turned out okay? Well, I want to help put those people at ease. And by doing that, I get to help those people like I helped you. So if you wouldn't mind taking a minute of your time, posting a review to Google, and then copy and paste it, and also post it to my Facebook and to my Zillow as well. It takes 3 seconds. And if you're having trouble coming up with something to say, I'll send you an email that just part of that email just has a couple questions. It's what were you looking for? Why did you choose me? What was the result? You answer those questions, you have a review. Google will notify you every single time somebody posts a review. So that way, your clients did it. I have a whiteboard right here that I use every time somebody closes. I put their name up there, and I wait about a week and I follow up with them and make sure everything's okay, and then tell them I'm going to be sending them an email. But I call them first because I want them to hear me say, "Hey, I'm going to send you an email. I'd really appreciate it if you write me a review." And I know you're busy, and we're all very busy, but it really helps me with my business. And I think you'd agree that the time that I spent working, for you on your loan, the least that I can ask just a little bit of help from you, and just put a nice review in there. It doesn't even have to be fancy. And then you send the email, and then if you don't hear a response, give them a text message or call a week later. Hey, making sure everything's still good. Were you able to do the review? Okay, no worries. But do you think you might be able to do it by the end of the week? All right, cool. Yeah, just a little follow-up. Nobody cares. I do it all the time. I get the reviews. But if you do a review, or if you ask for a review and somebody posts a review on Google, you want to reply to it, keeping it fresh. It's showing that you're actively monitoring your profile, which Google notices. So you want to enable messaging as well. So this is people who can text you, right from the listing. So it's a great way to connect with clients directly. And then you also, if you do want to enable people to message you right from your Google My Business profile, you want to set up auto reply messages so that if you're not there, or if you know that you're not going to be responding in a second or within the first 5-10 minutes, then have these auto reply messages set up. If you work during the day, 9 to 5, likely you're not going to be replying during that time. This is for you. All right, any questions on anything we've gone so far or gone over so far? I know that there's kind of a high level overview of how to set up the profile and why we're doing it. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how to optimize this and what you need to optimize and how to get some more reviews, some ideas. But if there's any questions, feel free to enter in the chat and we'll answer those for you. But if there's none, I'll go ahead and move on. The Google 3-pack is where you want to be. That's the 3-pack, right? It's the first 3 listings that come up. So the search term at the top says real estate agents in, put your town here, right? And at the top, you'll see are paid ads. So they get the first position. And in the middle is the Google 3-pack. So in Google search engine results, the Google 3-pack or local pack, as it's called, is a prominent local map listing that presents to consumers the 3 businesses Google considers the most relevant and the highest quality. So you want to be the most relevant and of the highest quality so that you appear in those top 3. So it provides at a glance just a snapshot of your business, that 3-pack. So in a busy world where people make decisions based on whether they can find your business at all and what others are saying about you. So this is what the mobile 3-pack looks like. So you want to have the click to call, as we mentioned, because that's why it's right there, right on the screen there. That's why it's so important to have that, so that you have the ability, or you give the ability for people just to reach out to you right away. But in a world of constant smartphone usage, they need to be able to connect to you right away. And if they forgot your number, or maybe they had your card, they met you at an open house and they remembered your name, but they didn't remember your phone number, it needs to be right there. It needs to be easy access. And if they search your name, you already have reviews, you're at the top of the list, it legitimizes you right away. You see that little blue arrow that says more places? It's called no man's land. Nobody clicks there. Nobody. If you want people to connect with you, you got to have reviews, and you got to have, got to get in that 3-pack. Not many people are going for more places. And if they are, it's because maybe they tried those first 3 and didn't like it. But other than that, we want to figure out how to rank within that 3-pack, because we're not going to be successful on Google Business, Google My Business, if we're not within that top 3. So really, how to rank within there. The results change depending upon where the person is conducting the search. So where they're located. They're always location dependent. So in other words, results change depending upon if the person's located in Baltimore or Columbia. You can optimize your profile to increase the chances of appearing in the 3-pack. If you're located in Columbia, but you do business in Annapolis, you can still show up there. So we'll talk about what to do to be relevant, to be within the distance, and to be prominent. So they list 3 factors, Google does, that takes into account when doing the local rankings. It's the relevance, distance, and prominence. And it means that firstly, if you'd like to be ranked high in a local search result, your profile needs to be relevant, well optimized to the keywords that the user uses to search. So the description that we talked about that makes you unique, that's what I'm talking about. We need to be relevant within that description. So Google will also, by the way, again, go back to do the Google search for real estate agents near me, see who's at the top of that list today, and look at their description. See what they're doing to get to the top of that search. Obviously they're going to have a lot of reviews, which we're going to start from ground zero, but you're going to see what a successful profile looks like. So don't be afraid to look at those and steal some ideas, like I said before. Google also looks at the website that you provide. So make sure you put your website on there, your personal website. So having a website with local content on it can help. And your website should be optimized for mobile users as well. So the Google local map 3-pack, it's really especially for mobile users. And so you want to have that easy access to your website where you click and people can just go and switch between Google and your site, and all is that mobile friendly experience. So also your business is going to be, so secondly, the distance is important because you got to be local to that person that's searching, right? And then the last part of it, which you really can't help unless you're just going to list the places that you serve, but this is not something that you can, fake your way through or do some kind of, secret keywords in order to show up in everybody's search. This is literally just Google trying to connect those buyers with local businesses or consumers with local businesses. So just make sure you're putting your actual service areas in there, and then that way you'll show up in those areas that you want. The prominence part is why you need to have the reviews. So those are the 3 things that put together that Google grouping in that 3-pack. So to optimize this a little bit more, we need to complete our Google My Business listing, right? And that's because we need to have the full search and display. So your listing will actually be there if people search for you, even if you haven't gotten the postcard yet, but it's not going to be a full listing. It's probably not going to show up in a search. If people show up for real estate agents near me, it'll be way at the bottom. But if you search, Miss Smith Realty, Taylor Properties, then specific like that, then they'll find you. And then once you get the postcard, that's when you can update all the other stuff and really start to compete for that 3-pack. But they want to be able to display as much information as possible. And they don't get to do that until you've verified and completed the actual listing. Add the profile images, and then you want to submit posts, and you want to answer any reviews. So even if somebody puts a positive review, you thank them. There's a section right in there where you reply. And the questions and answers is a great section for, write down a list of 10 questions you get every day from clients and answer them, and then put them in your Google business page. That way you have your frequently asked questions there. You'd be surprised how many people would be reaching out to you, thanking you for providing that information up front. That's also great social media posting ideas, by the way. So the prominence part is the reviews. So this is really important. I know I keep touching on this, and everybody, it's tough to get reviews. It's really, really, really hard. People don't take time out of their day. They don't know what to say. And really the only time you write a review is when you're angry, right? When's the last time you wrote a review for something that you really loved? Whether it was a product, a restaurant, a service you got. If you love the car you drive, do you ever go to Ford.com and write a review? You don't, right? So how do we get people to give us reviews? 88% of consumers read online reviews. 85% of people trust reviews just as much as a personal recommendation. 85% of people trust a review as much as personal recommendation. So the first thing you're going to do when you set this up is ask every old client you've had, all the friends, family, everyone who you've helped so far. I need another review. You got to get them to do it. And then the average number of stars makes a huge impression on customers as well. So listings with 5-star reviews earn 69% of the attention on the 3-pack, meaning the clicks. While 4 stars earned 59%, so 10% less, and 3 stars are down to 44% of the attention. So already, if you have bad reviews, you're not going to be very high on that list. But I'm sure none of you here have bad reviews because you're all still in business and selling homes. So the number of reviews is important as well. So 83% of consumers read an average of about 2 to 10 reviews. So 83% of the people who are looking at Google will read 2 to 10 of the reviews that are on your site. 7% read 11 to 20 reviews. And 6% want feedback that exceed 20 reviews. So 6% of people will read 20 reviews before answering or before reaching out to that particular Google My Business listing. So if you have less than 11 online reviews, you're not getting the attention of 13% of the buying population, basically. So staying current with content is what I mentioned before. It's just about posting and making that, a religion to you. If you think of something, post it, share it, keep your Google page updated with your Facebook. Those are all things that you should be doing daily anyway. So the other thing is, once you start receiving reviews, like I said, you want to reply to all of them. And before you can do that, you need to verify your account. How do we verify our account? The postcard. So all on the left side here, you'll see all your home stuff. Posts, info, insights, messaging, reviews, photos, all that stuff. Under the reviews tab, you'll be able to reply to all those reviews. Anytime you get a review, you want to make sure you reply right away. Distance. So another way to rank higher on Google Maps is to embed the Google map on your website. So if you're not a web designer, or whoever designed your website, whoever you use, if they haven't done this for you yet, have them do it. So if you embed that, you're also going to be able to, you're just going to be able to show up higher. It's like you're going to get a higher score when it comes to that 3-pack. So the way you do it is you hit share on your, when you're looking at the Google Maps on your web page, you want to share the address. And then there is an embed button here, and you'll see it'll give you that HTML so that you can copy and paste it. But your web person can help you if needed, but make sure you embed that. That's just going to help your score. So let's see. Oh, the other sites are important too. So Google doesn't just look at your site, at their business listing. They want you to link your Zillow, your realtor.com, your Facebook, your Yelp, your Twitter. Make sure that you're getting reviews on those sites. It should be any client who puts a review on one site should be able to put a review on all of them. Just copy and paste, and that's it. Obviously, if they don't have an account to Facebook, they're not going to be able to do that, or Twitter, they're not going to be able to do that. But the accounts that they do have, everyone has an email, so they can put a Google review in. That should be your priority number one, the first review place, and then Zillow, and so on and so forth. But those two, if you don't have a Zillow page, you need to start that first and then go back to Google. But I'm pretty sure all of you do that. So how do we get consumer reviews? So Dustin Garrett at Team One Group Real Estate in Idaho, they have 114 Google reviews. That's a lot. They have a ton of photos too. So what they do is they have a monthly or sometimes quarterly contest. So they send a video, just a nice closing email and video to past clients that gives the links on Google, Zillow, Facebook, and says if they leave a review, they'll be entered in a quarterly drawing for a $250 gift card for Home Depot, or for a local business, bakery, $50 gift card, whatever it is, whatever you decide to make it. But they do a gift card to the local Home Depot or local business, and they get these reviews, and then they pick a winner at the end of every month. And guess what? The winner gets posted about. And that's another thing to just have something on social media, another idea. So this is also on Dustin's profile. So it shows that he's putting an event on. So he has a listing, and where is the listing coming from? Facebook, right? That event listing. So he's doing the event is actually pulling from Facebook, so he can get that source from there, but it's actually making his profile more active and higher in that grouping because he has more accounts linked to this. Again, prominence. You want to be present on social media in order to make this a really great thing. And Rome wasn't built in one day. If you don't have all these different sites, don't feel overwhelmed. You got to start somewhere, start with Google, and then build those other profiles out. Once you create them, you don't have to do that much to manage them, if anything at all, other than just reply to reviews. The Google, you want to keep updated. Zillow, you can change your profile picture. I mean, it looks like realtors change it once every 40 years. So you can keep it there as long as you want. But the main part of it is having those profiles. That way, if somebody searches you, they see a picture of you. If it's 2 reviews, it's 2 reviews. Just make sure that they're 5 stars and continue to ask for those reviews. So he linked his Christmas event from Facebook, and his Google My Business page showed that. So basically, he has relevance, he has distance since he's local, and then the prominence because he's over the 100. Well, he has over 100 reviews. So the insights for all of this. So once you've completed and have started playing around with this, how do you know if you're getting traction other than people calling you? So Google also provides you with useful insights to check in how often people are viewing your profile, how they found your listing, and if it was on search, if it was on maps, and what they did after they found you. So Facebook, you don't know who looks at your profile. This Google, they'll tell you that somebody's looking at your profile, and they do it in this way. So here is the insight page. So the platforms is a built-in analytical tool that kind of shows you how people search for you, how they interact with your page. And given the information here, you can customize it to kind of reach your ideal clients. It's basically your window into your local search here. So it contains information relating to your performance, such as the number of views your listing has received. When I say listing, I mean your Google My Business listing, not a listing for your house or a house listing. It shows where they found you at. It shows you photo views. It has different, so it'll show you the phone calls that people click to call. You also have the customer actions, what they did. So there's a lot of different insights here. And really, once your business page is up and running, your listing is up and running, this is really fun to play with. It really gives you a good idea, and it breaks it down really easy once you get in here. But you have to have something before you can have this, and that's setting up and verifying, getting that validation code. So again, you need that postcard. Make sure you order that right away. But this is going to give you insight to how you can optimize your page a little bit more. So this would be a snapshot of Dustin's analytics. So this is over the past 28 days. So you can see how his Google My Business listing is coming up in both search and map. So search is when you go to google.com and search real estate agent near me, right? And the map would be on your mobile, or you can be on the desktop version, but mostly mobile, saying real estate agent near me. And you can see that that brings him a lot more business than the actual searches do. So again, goes to show you Google Maps is giving a lot of business out. Just having a Google business profile legitimizes you. So the insights is right there on the left side of the screen. As I mentioned, you need to have that postcard filled out in order to view this part of it. and to get access to this. So over the next week or so, this will all start to come to fruition. You'll see all these things, and then you'll be able to refer back to this slideshow and the handout that I'm going to give you guys so you can optimize it a little bit more. And the great news here is there's help for this. So more and more companies are doing this. Instead of having customer service representatives, there's communities where clients help other clients. It's great because it helps you out, but it's not necessarily a professional, but there's usually a lot of frequently asked questions there. And you can get professional review on the support Google, but there's also a community section where there's kind of new ideas that you can bounce around. And they have that for a lot of these different sites now. So there's actually Facebook groups for how to optimize these things as well. So you save this link, make sure you have this. So if you have any questions when you're filling this out, when you're completing your page, when you're looking at insights and you want to know how to better read them or what to do with the information, this is all stuff you can look in this section here. So that's really the overview of the Google My Business. And the reason that we brought this to you is just because if you're not on there, obviously it's going to put you in front of more people. It's going to legitimize you. It's going to just make you more prominent in the local area. And then you want to make sure that you optimize your account once you set it all up. So I'm going to be sending you this guide, so that way you guys can have a little bit more in-depth once you get it all set up. And I'm sure you guys will have some questions after it's all set up. If you do, I am not a Google My Business expert. I am pretty good at it, but if you need something, I'm sure I can help you answer questions. And if there's anything that we can do for you at Heritage, again, please let us know. I'll be doing this presentations like this once a month for probably the whole year. We have a couple of really good ones coming up, including how to get your listing, or I'm sorry, how to get your offer accepted in a seller's market. And that's going to be a brand new one. I haven't finished it yet. It should be finished probably within the next week and a half, but it may be our next one. We may push our next one back so people can get in on this. There's a lot of good information in there, but that's coming soon. The rest of them Gary has listed out. But if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to email me. My email is just kyle@heritagefinancial.com. On the website, it has all my contact information. I'm here if you guys have any questions whatsoever. But with that said, I think that's it. So usually I don't feel like people talk to me when I'm in a classroom, and now I just feel like I spoke to myself for 30 minutes. So I appreciate those of you who were in the chat and said some things and kept me engaged. But if there's anything I can do for you, let me know. Gary?
All right. Well, appreciate your time, Kyle, and thank you to everyone that's joined. As Kyle mentioned, we'll have a couple more of these seminars coming your way. And just as a reminder, this webinar was recorded and we will be posting that on our YouTube, so you can come back and revisit anything that you'd like. But for now, we'll let you guys go and appreciate the time. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.